Yes, I can see. Hello, good evening. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Rajgopal, and I lead outreach here at the university. And the reason for doing this webinar, many reasons, by the way, we did two meet the faculty sessions, in-person sessions, one at Bangalore and the one also at Bhopal early November, and we received many requests if you could do a virtual information session about our four-year honors and the four-year dual degree programs. And this is the final week to apply for the first round of admissions 2024. So this webinar is also to clarify the questions that you will have about the program. That's the context why we are doing this interaction. But today's webinar is about the BA honors, and tomorrow we focus on the BSc honors and the dual degree BSc BA, right? And especially see this admission date, selection process, sample question paper, all that what you need is available on the public domain on the website. The focus of this 30-minute talk, this interaction, is to unpack the four-year program curriculum to you, right? What does it entail? What are the various components, right? Well, I can say with a little bit of confidence that the four-year program offered at Azim Premji University is a high-quality, academically rigorous program that will open up various opportunities for you for both higher education and employment, right? It's not that we are preparing you only for higher education, or we are preparing some kind of a vocation-based program or a professional program only for employment. It will open up both opportunities. So that's what we will explain in the next 30 minutes or so. Once I finish my initial talk, I'm going to invite my colleague Supriya Verma, who will talk to us about what's happening at the Bhopal campus, right? And in detail the curricular structure. Then we have my colleague Sunandan here, again faculty member, who will talk about much more aspects of the four-year program and also about the newly launched social science major. With that, can you bring my slides onto the thing? Thank you very much. Right now, I'll control from here. So quickly welcoming you to the webinar. All these images that you see on the screen are from the Bhopal campus, right? We have started with two majors, but then you will hear that we're going to add more majors for 2024. And for those who are new to Azim Premji University, and just a quick repetition of, I'm not going to read what's there on the slide. We started in 2010 at Bangalore, right? This is a university funded by Azim Premji Foundation, which helps us to keep both. We are able to keep both need-based scholarships, as well as we're able to keep the fees at not at a very high level. And the vision is that whatever we do as an institution, it could be the degree programs or the publications or the research that we do, everything is contributing to a better world, a better society, a better country, right? So with that as a context, we have the campus at Bengaluru. If you are anywhere around, you're more than welcome to visit the campus at Bangalore. And then, of course, the programs at Bhopal have commenced in 2023. So the two campuses, the list of programs, the focus is going to be what you see at the center, but then to give you a quick glimpse of all the programs offered at Azim Premji University, we have both postgraduate and also diploma programs that we offer for teachers. But the focus today is what you see on the top. That's the BA honors program, all our four-year programs at Azim Premji University. And you have a choice of the two campuses that you could go. What are we offering at the Bangalore campus? And is the five majors that you see on screen. And you could also, those who are interested in taking the science stream, we have five majors offered in science also. And that's one major. That's why it's underlined as it's environmental science and sustainability. And if those who want looking at having a dual degree, they can opt for a four-year BSc BEd also. Now, what about Bhopal? You can see that the Bhopal, it's not a replica of Bangalore in that sense. it's got a different color, and we we started with biology and history, but now for the 2024 cohort, we are also introducing or going to offer BA Economics and English, and also possibility of other majors as we move on. Right now, what's different about the program curriculum at Azim Premji University? Right, this looks like, is it just another BA program? Is it just another BSc program? Not really, right? Now, I think that's what you should be doing to understand what do I get to learn the 4 years that I'm spending at a university, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about. But to explain this in much more detail, uh, I would now request my colleague Supriya Verma to come and share while we are uh, waiting for Supriya. I'll just tell you broadly the components, but Supriya, you could come and join and then take on from here to explain how the program is structured, right? Can somebody please get Supriya on stage? While we're waiting, see, the thing is, when you join Azim Premji University in the application form, you would have chosen a major, right? And that's where the idea is, the major that you choose, we want to make you an expert in that. There's no compromise there. If you pick history, you're graduating with the sensibilities of a historian. And I stop now because Priya is there. She will tell you more about. But it is not only about the major. It's about a minor that you could combine with at Azim Premji University. And is that it? Not really. All students will also have something called the option to do a research or an internship. Is that it? Not really. We have more, that there's a flexible curriculum to craft your experience. Did we finish the components? No. The final component, my favorite, is the common curriculum. But with this on the screen, right, it would be good for those who are watching to listen to Supriya. Um, and she's going to interact with us from Bhopal, and it's an exciting times for us there. The first batch of the Bhopal campus has started, and she's teaching. So over to you, Supriya, to explain the curricular structure and a little bit about what's happening at Bhopal also. Over to you.
Thanks, Rajgopal. So, as he was explaining to all of you, that it's a very exciting 4 year program that has been designed at Azim Premji University. And the undergraduate programs, are similar in many ways, both at Bhopal as well as Bangalore, but with some differences, of course. Firstly, in terms of the majors, right now at Bhopal, we offer biology and we offer economics, English, and history. Whereas in Bangalore, there are many more which are up there. There are like 10 majors. But the important thing to note about the undergrad program at Azim Premji University is that it gives you breadth as well as depth. Now, that's the key thing. So you do your major in a one particular discipline, but alongside that, you also do a range of other subjects. Now, that includes, for example, you can pick up an occupational minor, which is compulsory for everyone, along with your disciplinary major. And once again, these minors can be in education, media and journalism, data democracy, sports and fitness, climate studies, arts education, and there are many more that are being designed. Now, the advantage of this occupational minor is that you do 5 courses, and along with that, if you are interested in pursuing into that occupation after you have finished your BA, BSc, you can do an internship and then go on. Either you can do a master's in media and journalism, but you can also get a job. We kind of try and prepare you for that. So if you're not interested, say after your 4 years in studying, going into higher education, you can. We will prepare you that you would be able to get into the job market as well. But one occupational minor option is there, but along with that, you can also pick up a disciplinary minor. So you do 5 courses in that discipline. For example, you may be a biology major student, but you may be interested in philosophy. So you can pick up a minor in philosophy as well. And if you are interested in research, then that option is also there for you in the fourth year, where you do a thesis. So instead of doing an internship, you can then do a thesis. So, and if you're not interested in picking up a second minor in any discipline, you can just do a range of flexible, pick up flexible credits through a range of courses. So, in other words, the thing about this program is that there is a lot of flexibility. And it's not something which is available at a lot of universities, which is what I find over here. Now, apart from your disciplinary major, your occupational minor, your disciplinary minor, you also have common curriculum. Now, that comprises of three components. There are foundation courses, there is Understanding India, Creative Expressions, but this is something that my colleague Sunandan will tell you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much, Supriya. I think that really helps. I'm going to skip the BSc B.Ed program curriculum for now. I'll do it tomorrow. But if Sunandan, if you could come in now and uh, explain in a little bit more detail how the common curriculum, or why the common curriculum, right? Why do we have, if you look like a layperson, as thanks to Priya for reminding, there's a possibility of doing two minors, right? You do a major, say in biology, and you do say a minor in say education or media, and then you could also do a minor in philosophy or chemistry through the flexible credits with option of research internship. So maybe you, Sunandan, you could start by telling us why do we need the common curriculum? And as the name suggests, it's common. Doesn't matter what major minor you choose. All students go through the common curriculum. But it would be great to hear from you. Yeah, you need to unmute yourself on that bottom gray thing. If you can click unmute again.
Thank you, Rajgopal and Supriya. So I'll be talking about common curriculum that is part of the BA undergraduate program structure. So one thing when we design even the earlier 3-year programs and the current 4-year programs, one of the idea is that education, what is the concept of undergraduate education? It was the major question we are thinking about. And in this regard, it's not just about capabilities. Capabilities are very important. But at the same time, how do we understand our society better and be a good citizen in order to contribute into a sustainable, equitable world? That was the question. So for that, whatever major you study, there need to be certain understanding what is happening around us, certain ways of doing and interacting with that world in order to socially make it more inhabitable for everyone. So that is the basic idea of these courses. In that, for the development of certain capabilities, we have designed uh, two foundation courses which everyone should take. All major students will take in their first year. So these are critical reading and writing and public reasoning. Critical reading and writing enables you to read and write. Basically, in current world, uh, English is the one of the like dominant language, and so proficiency in English reading and writing is important in any field. So the first course in critical reading and writing emphasize on your ability to understand, critically read text and write about it, analyze about it. How do one understand this, from newspapers to academic books to other kinds of books? The second course in that will enable you to specifically write in your major. Say, for example, how do you write a history paper, academic paper in history? That will be uh, taught in the second course in that. Public reasoning is a course that enable critical thinking, that whatever, say for example, you hear about a news, how do you understand about the news? Is it a fake news, or can we say that we can analyze that news and understand it in a more objective way? These are the questions we need to, in the current world, we need to address. So public reasoning is an idea of how do we engage critically or develop critical thinking. These three courses are in the first two semesters. Along with this, we have three understanding India courses. This is not a history or social science courses, but deal with the history of India and present issues of India that are accessible to in a language that are accessible to all people, students from all disciplines. It's not a very major or it's not a major oriented course, but it is based on a history at the present and what will be the future. So the first understanding India course will take you to the emergence of India as a nation from the very beginning, how people populated here, how cultures developed here, how religions and language diversity happened here. These kind of historical questions you will be engaging in the first course. In the second course, you will be looking at the current India, various issues regarding caste, religion, gender, etc. And what is our constitution talking about our rights? These kind of issues we are looking in the second course. And third course, we will look how India is progressing. What is the future? This will be a course based on what we its course will be India through numbers. So it will be based on mathematical, statistical data and analyzing this India's development, environmental situation, etc. The last part of, and maybe most fun part of the common curriculum is the creative expression. Usually, in colleges, we have extracurricular activities, arts and other things are extracurricular. But here it is not, because we know that arts and other kinds of activities are integral to educational program, and so it is a curricular program. So we have a number of programs courses in creative expression from which students uh, take two in one semester, 2 semesters they take one course each. This could be craft, this could be dance, this could be sports, it's music, from all kind of varieties of art. You take various programs. So this is the basic structure of common curriculum. I hand over to Raj.
Yeah, yeah. 1 second. Thank you. Thanks. I think that was quite helpful. So then just to for me also to refresh what's about the common curriculum. Before I think there are a lot of questions coming in, but before getting into that, those are we will do. There are a lot of questions coming on the sample question papers and all that. We'll do that towards the end. But before that, um, we can see something called research here, right? Option to pursue research. So here, maybe Supriya could start with you, and then I'll go to Sunandan. So when we say research and say history or social sciences, what are the possibilities? Especially research at an undergrad level is not. We have not heard that too much. Always feel research is something to be done at a postgrad level. And if you could just throw some light, what plans do we have for Bhopal, especially a history program offered in central India, opens up a lot of possibilities. If you could just briefly talk about that. And then Surendran, maybe you could tell us the kind of research that students have done in history or humanities, the broad humanities. Uh, what I've seen from Bangalore, that'll be good to talk about.
So there is a lot of potential for doing research even at the undergrad level, though as Rajgopal is saying, generally we associate it with postgrad or even beyond that, like you hear of MA thesis and of course PhD. But more and more, we are realizing that it is very, very possible to do research. In fact, that's the time if you do a short thesis in your undergrad, you actually kind of figure out whether this is what I want to do or not. And it's not something which is very difficult, but one has to think of it as an initial training ground where we hold your hand and take you through basic methods of doing research. So, for example, in history, if you're interested in doing any kind of public history, if you're interested in doing any kind of local histories, Adivasi histories, a lot of which are not written, we will train you in the methods. One can take up a small case study and go and do some field work in the neighboring areas. And particularly in Madhya Pradesh, there is a lot of scope for that. Or, for example, you may want to do research in archaeology. Here again, being located in Bhopal is extremely useful because we are surrounded by historical and archaeological sites ranging from, a site like Bhimbetka, which belongs to the Upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic, right up to, archaeological places that belong to the medieval period. So you can do a project on that as well. And here we will train you in basic field methods in archaeology. How does one go about doing research in archaeology? So how does one do surveys, and how does one collect data? How does one interpret data? So take a small case study. We could do something around Mandu. We'll take you there. We'll train you for 3 to 4 weeks in research methods, and you can do a small research, and then you can write up a thesis, a small undergrad thesis of about 20,000, 25,000 words. So this is really the training ground for preparing you towards a world of research if you were to go into it. Otherwise, these tools that we teach you in any job that you take up will always help you, because it's just teaching you about even if you want to get into journalism, you have to do a little bit of research. So this kind of prepares you for that as well. So these are the kind of areas, particularly in Bhopal, in history, areas that have not been worked on much. We hope to encourage students. Maybe we'll also train them in museum studies, do some research around that as well. Family histories, public histories, local histories, Adivasi studies, etc. So that I can say that we have the advantage of being located in Bhopal, and it then becomes easy to these kind of histories that have not really been worked upon much. Over to Sunandan about social science research.
Yeah, that's great. There's a question there on the comment also, which I've been reading, where somebody is commenting that this could be just a simple project based on some certain topics. It's not. It's not just a project, but to give them the right tools that a historian would use as a researcher if they wish to pursue that path. Yeah, but we'll hear from Sunandan because. Over to you. And also, Sunandan, because I think, thanks, Supriya, you used the word social science. And as a new major, you could briefly also talk about the research that students have done and what is the social science major all about? That's also a question that we keep getting. So both, if you could do that, would be great.
Okay, thanks, Rajavan. So as Supriya mentioned, this is what the research program, especially we have, since this is now it's a 4-year program, we have more, one semester is dedicated for this research field work. So we can do it better than the 3-year program, because the research was basically done on the vacation time and etc. So now, what the 4-year program, 3-year program, the research that already students have done is very interesting very kind of subjects they have chosen. So we had a BA Humanities program. So in that, a lot of students have taken interdisciplinary research, which is still possible. Say, for example, in English, you may study about, some people have studied, one student have studied about how novels are made in movies and what is the kind of movies that are, what is the relation between literature and cinema, for example. That's one kind of research one student is doing in English. So, and history, they are showing, say, for example, how do people outside migrate to Adivasi areas and what is its impact? One student did that in the very first batch. One student worked on the Syrian Christian migration to the Wayanad, which is a hill area in Kerala. He's now doing PhD on the same subject. Of course, it's advanced research, but this research helped him to think about this migration, and now he's doing it in a different more in-depth way for his PhD. Sometimes it may lead to that. Sometimes you may not continue the same subject. That's also fine, but it will give you a methodological understanding. What are the issues? What are the ways in which you can approach a subject historically? How do you go to an archive and do archival work, or how do you interview? How do you understand certain social phenomena through observing it? These are the kind of practices that we are trying to develop in the research method courses, and then you will practice it when you are doing in the research. So said that social science major, which just started, we started this year. We have first batch along with us. We are doing currently teaching the first batch. So very interesting students we have. Social science we designed, you will notice that it's not usually there is a degree in BA in social science anywhere else except in Tata Institute of Social Science. What our understanding of social science, there is various disciplines that study social phenomena, contemporary society, such as political science, sociology, anthropology, etc. But what we thought about looking at the research coming out of these disciplines and etc., all of them are in some way trying to understand social practices, phenomena, culture, etc., through interdisciplinary way. So that's why we thought that instead of having separate disciplines like BA sociology, BA political science, BA anthropology, we thought that it should be an interdisciplinary course, interdisciplinary degree. And say, for example, if you are looking agriculture, you want to know the economics of that. You want to know the groups who are doing agriculture, what is their social status. You want to know the government policy about it. You want to know the history of agriculture in that particular region, etc. So it's a combined interdisciplinary courses you will study, not separate courses in sociology, anthropology, or political science. But we use the studies from these disciplines and in order to understand how social issues are playing out in our society. So that is why it's an interdisciplinary course. And in that, you can have research in the similar way what we are talking about other.
Thanks, Anandan. I was just helping people to helping them where to find details of those courses. So I think there was a question on the comment asking, can you tell about economics, right? So I mean, if you speak about, try talking about all 5 majors, it will take 2 hours here. I would recommend that if you want to know more, just go to the website. If you go to the admission aid, click this called undergraduate admissions. On this page, you will see all the majors under one roof, and just directly go to that major that you're interested in, and you can read everything, or you can straight away jump to what is known as the course structure, right? So this is how the curriculum is structured. Common curriculum, which Sunandan spoke in detail. There are a set of compulsory courses in the major itself, and within the major there could be electives. So there are electives, and also so everything is available on the website. And there was one interesting question. I'll stop sharing this and come back to my slide. Is why is it a 4-year program here, right? When other places they could do a 3-year honors, and why is it long for 4 years? One is the regulatory environment allows us to do a 4-year program, and the possibility of a year-long research never existed previously. So I'll bring back my the slide again. So the 4th year is where you do invest in the research. Or if you are not into that, if you are somebody who wants to make yourself work ready, right? Or we want that professional internship, the entire 7th semester is kept aside for internship. Right? So that's the beauty of this 4-year program is I think I know I'm making a very forward-looking statement, but still let me say this. We as a not just, I'm not talking about Azim Premji to still, we have to really design our BA and BSc also like a terminal degree leading to jobs. Right. That's the beauty of this 4-year program the way we have designed. There was one question which I think we should answer: what after history? So there's a question that somebody asked, which I'm just reading. What are the various possibilities? I'll bring up my slide also, but Supriya, I know
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have
This
mentored
is
many historians from your previous avatar. So it'd be good to know. And it's maybe, I always keep telling, not making a comparison about regions of India, especially for those in the southern region, would really want to know what are the
what after
possibilities.
history. So you have as many options as you have were you to do any major. It can be philosophy, it can be English, it can be history, maybe not economics because that is more in the finance line. But one, of course, straightforward is that you can go into research if that's what you're interested in, higher education, and then a teaching job in a university. You can sit for the civils. You can also go into media and journalism. You can go into theater, anything. Basically, what does history teach you? History teaches you critical thinking and analysis. And honing your writing skills, honing your thinking abilities, especially critical thinking. So think of it as a major like any other major that is helping you uh, study sources, engaging with history, all kinds of histories. And it's not just Indian history, but it is also global histories, where you engage with themes, think about them, debate about them, discuss about them. And it gives you a very good idea, a very good understanding of not just the past, but also the present, and perhaps even think about issues in future. So you can do environmental history, you can get into climate change, you can, that's a field you can choose. You want to get into curation, museum studies, doing an undergrad course in history will train you for that. So it's really up to you what aspect of history you're interested in, and then develop your occupation or vocation or what you want to do later in life. Think of it like that, and don't just think, oh, history is about the past and there is no present and there is no future in doing a discipline like history. There is a lot, because it's the past that gives our understanding of the present and also helps us think of ways in coping with the future.
Yeah. Thank you. I think thanks, Supriya, for that. And just to taking on, and from the context of Azim Premji University, if you can just bring my slide onto the screen with my colleagues behind the scenes. See here, it also matters what kind of a combination you choose along with history, right? I mean, it's the same. I can speak for any subject. Somebody was asking what after English, right? So it also depends on the minors that you choose here, the kind of research. Although we are talking about research and history, when you start doing research, it becomes very interdisciplinary kind of a research that you're doing. So there are various possibilities, and I put this slide with some confidence because we have 800 of the graduates who are out there over the last many years. And these are the pathways they've taken. Some could be directly after graduation. Some of them, of course, after a postgrad degree in their domain of interest. And there was one question, whether the internships that I spoke about, do you assist or should students have to run around? Not really. You don't have to run around. We will help you find the internship. And whatever we are saying, this is not new to us. Okay, it's only strengthening. We always had something called an interdisciplinary study area, but now with the 4-year program, it's having much more structure. So there's a question asking, somebody has not done or is in science, can he move to can he take arts? Yes, of course he can. I mean, there are students who have done that. And any questions that we should be taking at this point of time? I don't know. I'm just reading through the comments also. I did not take maths for my 11th and 12th grade. Will it affect my prep for entrance? I'll talk about that later. You have to practice. I think there are a lot of sample question papers on the website. I'll probably walk that through. But before I let our faculty members leave, I just want to answer as many questions as possible. And towards the end, maybe the last 10-15 minutes between 5:45 and 6, I will clarify all that. There are my other colleagues also. So can you please share what other undergraduate programs you have planned for the next couple of years, right? And any possibility of changing subjects? So then maybe you could answer that question. Are we allowing a change of? Let me go back to my other slide. Change of major. Is that a possibility after the end of first year? Is the question. And
It is a possibility. You can change major immediately after the first semester, but it also dependent on the availability of seats in the major you want to shift into. Say, for example, this semester, economics or biology, you may not be able to shift into that because the seats are full, and like we can't accommodate more. If that is the situation, you may not be. But most probably there are not many students who are changing majors. So we are now receiving application for changing majors. There are not many students. They liked what they selected, so they are continuing. Most of the majority of students, only few applications are there. Uh,
great.
so, but you can change, because you will be taking the first semester course is not a prerequisite for any other course. It's a compulsory course, but it will not be a prerequisite for any other courses. So then you can come back and take that course if you want to do a major in a different discipline. So it's possible.
It's possible, but I think that you made a very valid point. Depending on the number of spaces available for that major, I think that's an important aspect. Right? The class size at Azim Premji University is around 35 to 40, and not more than that. Right? It's not like a huge class where 100 students are sitting and the faculty is speaking and teaching. So that kind of it's almost like, I would say, individual attention. There is no end of the semester examination, but we do kind of have assessments or evaluation every month, if not every 2 weeks. So that could be the only reason why you may not get a major of your choice in the second year. But I'm glad to hear there's not too many requests. That means they've thought through what major they want to study. There's a question asking, what are the other UG programs that we have planned for the next couple of years? So maybe Supriya would like to start. What are the plans for Bhopal? Are we going to add any new majors soon? And then regarding Bangalore, I can say whatever I know about Bangalore. Yeah.
So at Bhopal, as Rajgopal mentioned, this year we started with biology and history. Next year we are also adding on economics, English, and there's a very strong possibility that we may also add BA Social Science.
So right.
Then I think from 25 onwards, we may have more of sciences like physics. Right now, we are a little constrained because of the space. But once the buildings are ready, then I think we will also start with maths and physics and chemistry as well. That's the plan for undergrad majors in the next 2 years. I can speak with confidence.
Great, great. And there's a question on other UG programs. See, we're quite keen to start add psychology also as a major. The question is only how soon, right? Not too late. So, but that's what we're interested in. But one aspect that we're also missing is what are the minors that we will add, right? We're also looking at adding more minors. So that you can also apply the major that you're studying on an occupation minor. So that's also going to happen. I'm just quickly going through other program related. How many majors and minors to be selected? Thank you. I'll repeat what I said. You have to choose one major, right? The idea is to make you, to give you the depth in the discipline, as they say, right? So one major, and there's a possibility of two minors. Occupational minor is mandatory. You have to choose one among the 6-7 that is listed there. That is minor. That is mandatory. The flexible curriculum that is written there, what we call, I'll go to the next slide, wherein I've given the 5 components of the Azim Premji University program curriculum, right? And these are not equal circles. Somebody was asking how many credits for common curriculum. So the maximum credits you earn is through the major. It's a 160 credit program. The flexible credit is something that you could carve out the second minor, right? It's up to you how you want to design your flexible credits. You either say, for example, I'm just taking an example of, say, somebody with a major in economics. They could do philosophy as a minor through the flexible credits, or economics could be the major. One semester they could do maths course. Second semester they could do philosophy. Third semester they could do history. That's possible. So it's truly a flexible curriculum in that sense. Okay. Something about BA Honors English. See, we're not going to every program detail, but if you just go to the website and look for BA English at Azim Premji University, I'll be just repeating what's there on the website. We'll come back on the SAT score cutoff. We're not decided on that. And we're not going to talk about this an average package after we don't. I can tell you about placements, what happens after graduation, but we're not going to talk about the money. That's not the idea. Is not to lure you to an academic program, telling about the money, the package that you'll get. Of course, placements. We do have a very active placement and career guidance cell at Azim Premji University. The intake the intake is something it depends on the classroom size is 35 to 40, right? So some majors are only that much, right? So for example, Bhopal is going to be only one section, if I'm not mistaken. In Bangalore, we may have two sections of social science. I think that's the question specifically. So there was a question, Sunandar, if you could just answer this. How can BA Social Science help me in future? Maybe you should talk about what does a social scientist do. That probably will answer that question. And then, yeah.
Okay. So again, all the degree programs, what we are trying to do is we are looking into, of course, we are very keen that you should have a job immediately after this or later after your higher studies. That is a very important factor. But you may think that employment is based on your major. It is not actually. It is based on your capabilities and skills and methods you know. So social sciences, like any other disciplines, we teach you how to do research, for example, how to understand particular phenomena, and then you can write it as a research report. You can, if you are working in a journal, working as a journalist, you can write it as a newspaper article. If you are doing a lecture or public talk, you can use that. So the idea is that first you should have command on reading and writing. Second, you should have command on researching. You should have a capability of or flavor to do research and understand. So that is specifically in social science. After doing social science, people are working in different areas. Like one definitely is in media studies, media and journalism. People are working in that, but also a lot of kind of social activity, like in NGOs. A lot of people are working in various NGOs in different capacities. Some may be working as activists, for example. Some may be working as research planners in NGO. Some students, some may work after as how to raise fund for and apply for funding, write funding applications, write materials for publication, etc. So there are various ways in which these kind of capabilities can be used in profession. Since this is the first batch, I cannot say what are the students doing now after doing this here. But from my experience, I see that if you have a very good undergraduate training, that enables you to enter into multiple fields, not just limited to your major.
Thank you. I think I'll probably take off from what you just said, that this is preparing you for various opportunities, right? So there's a question, will the recording of this will be available? Definitely this recording of this will be available. But I can tell you what after this program, quickly. I think it's there in one of my slides also. But broadly, after this program, this kind of a preparation, right? The students are going through this kind of an immersion of previously 3 years and now 4 years. We're quite sure that one group of students are going to pursue a PG or an integrated PhD program in the discipline they have studied, right? The love for history will remain, the love for economics will remain, so they will take that pathway. There could be some variation here and there. Now, the second part is Many of our graduates are doing interdisciplinary PG program. PG programs in a domain that could be development studies or a public policy, and somebody did ecological economics. There's a big range of interdisciplinary PG programs our students are doing. The third I mean, I'm repeating what I said. We are preparing you for the world of work. If you wish that you should be, you should find a job, we will help you find a job. Absolute placements at the end of 4 years. No, that's the way we're looking at it. But let's see some stories are more believing. Yeah. So this slide is which I did show, and because this is a summary of what you will experience at Azim Premji University, right? A combination of major and minor. We really want to give you the 21st century skills, right? Which it doesn't matter which sector you get into. You may get into the business, you may get into the social development sector. You may want to set up your own social business. That's what the common curriculum is going to give you. And yes, it's a residential program. Even if you're staying 5 kilometers away or 1 kilometer away from the campus, you have to be living in a community of learners and educators, right? So that's a quick summary of Azim Premji University. But what after this program? It's there somewhere. I'm skipping this quickly. It is all available on the website. And one thing I keep talking a lot when I go outside in sessions and school is that the kind of faculty mentorship that you would get at Azim Premji University, right? The kind of care that you have faculty office hours. You may be having. If I remember a student saying, what do you like the most about Azim Premji University is that you will have a lot of dinners with your faculty members, clarifying questions that you may have. And beyond this, you should come and visit the campus to see the facilities that we have. And this is available. I think if you're finishing the application form, we're applying for round 1. Please do complete the application form in the next 2 days. Somebody was asking, will you have another round? We will definitely have round 2. But if Azim Premji University is in your one of your top choices of place to study, please do go for round 1 itself. And the next slide, the dates are coming, and it's going to close very, very soon. But doesn't matter round 1 or round 2. The classes are going to start only in July. The thing is, it's possible that there are many spaces taken in round 1, and round 2 may become slightly, competitive in that sense. So it's quite a vibrant campus life that you can experience at Azim Premji University, and then do come and visit us. That's the best way to know about us. But if you want to get in touch with us, this is the way. And the next slides is just this. I think I'm not going to go through this. Where what of the program is. A lot of opportunities you will. I'm just taking an example of. Let me take an example of a biology student, right? Or all of them have done different things, right? This is somebody with the humanities. Before we launched the history, philosophy, and the English major, we had a humanities program where somebody is working in a learning and development as a specialist in an organization. There is a story of a biology student who is doing an integrated PhD program in National Center for Biological Sciences. But there's another biology student who's working as a clinical programmer in a pharmaceutical company. There's a third biology student who after working for a while is doing a MSc in education. Right? So I think that kind of summarizes the pathways that you could take at Azim Premji University, right? Wherein three students doing the biology major, but I've taken different pathways. Now, with this, I think I thought we'll speak only for 35, 40 minutes. I think, thank you, Surinder and Supriya. We kind of covered quite a lot. What I'll do now is I'll just quickly try to see what are the questions that we should answer. And then I'll take it one by one. If you've not answered any of the question, you can just type it in the bottom. I'm going to answer. Will I be able to apply in round 1 with my SAT scores? No, unfortunately not for round 1. We will come back to you early next year or middle of or in February how the SAT applications we process, if we process, right? Can student choose the location of the program, or is it subject to your entrance? Yeah, you can choose the location, like a history kind of a program. You can choose definitely where you want to study. But if your idea is to study, say for example, BSc Physics, that's offered only at in Bangalore, right? Thanks for the question. How many students have graduated in BA History? See, we started in 2015, right? So we have close to 600, close to 700 students who have graduated just within history. The humanities, I'm not sure how many numbers, but how old is the department? That's the beauty. We don't call department. It's all a group of faculty members. We call ourselves part of the school, and it's a, see, if you look at it, it's not a history program per se. It's a multidisciplinary program here, right? Entrance, how to prepare for the entrance steps, Anil, it's very simple. I just go through for everybody. I think there's a lot of questions on the entrance test, so I'll just help everyone find out this sample question paper on the website. So my colleagues behind the scene, if you can just bring this website onto the screen, I'll tell them how to walk them through. Can you bring it onto the screen, please? Yes, thank you very much. It's so go to this place called Admission and Aid, and then click this undergraduate admission. You will find whatever you need. In this, we are updating as and when we find that okay, we have to give them more information. We do that. So the first part is, first listen to this video, and it's quite slightly long, but I think Arjun has explained quite well how the program curriculum is structured at Azim Premji University. If you want to know deep dive into what is the focus on the major entire year, all common things are available here. What are the graduates doing? What kind of a campus life we have? Fees, financial aid, all are available here. Now, this specific question on what you're asking about how to prepare for the entrance test, I would say go to this tab called application selection process. Go down, have a clear idea of the test structure first. Okay, I've got reading comprehension 20 questions. This will look a little bit of too much of detailed explanation, but still get a clarity on the test structure first. Then you'll see a tab called sample question paper. Just click that. We have uploaded around 4 to 5 sample question papers. Some have answers keys, some don't need. Start practicing them to get an idea, and then look for similar questions elsewhere. If you think that you should be practicing the say for example, you should be practicing the numerical ability more, right? Then of the quantitative reasoning part more, practice that more. That's about it. So I'll stop sharing the screen now. Is there any other questions that we should be right? So there's a question from Shivam. If you have chosen Bhopal as a campus, the question paper will be available in bilingual mode, right? So yeah, but only for the numerical ability part of it. Subject-specific questions in the entrance. There is something called a domain-specific question that you will get asked. So people have opted for science will have domain-specific 5 questions, again MCQ, but then you'll have to do some calculation and answer. But your interest in the subject, like a chemistry or a very specific domain-specific question, will be asked at the interview, right? Intake of the student depends on the round which you apply, not at all. As I said, you will have both the rounds, but it's on you. The decision is on you. I put the onus on you to take. If you're applying for, say, many universities, I want to try some 10 universities, probably round 2 is better. Right. Yeah. Anil's question, can you take economics as additional or minor subject with BSc Physics? Why not? That's a great question. You could take BSc Physics as a major and economics as minor, or you don't have to sign up for a minor. You could just do 3-4 courses within economics. If it's not that every course in economics will be available as the flexible credit. Sunandan can keep me right, because certain courses you will need the disciplinary foundation to do that, right? So don't think that you can come and pick any his course in history as a thing. So that's something that
we have academics. Each major have curated 5 courses, which we think that should have minimum. The students should do minimum to have a minor in that degree, that major. So it's those courses will be available as flexible credit.
Yeah. Thanks. Scholarships available, of course, need-based scholarships are available. You can go and look at the website. If your family income is less than 12 lakhs a year, you become eligible for our need-based scholarships. But let me also tell you that that you need to apply for that, or we look at those details only at the interview stage, right? At this point of time, you don't have to worry too much about that. Can you have consider a test center at Coimbatore? Right. So it's such a large country. I think we have started Salem. Is with one of the reasons is Salem is, and somebody asked why are you starting in Salem, which is, so we have one in Salem, if I'm not mistaken. My colleagues would know. So yeah, it's a 2-hour drive, nice drive from Coimbatore to Salem. But yeah, we will. Interview will be online. I think there's a request coming in from a lot of people. Interviews will be online. What are the timings to visit the campus? I would say Fridays, we are much more relaxed on Fridays, because Friday afternoon there's no classes also at Azim Premji University, where it's mostly time for clubs and activities. So Friday is the day for visit, but if you go to the website, you'll see a campus visit form. You could fill that and then could do that. Then I think that brings us to the end of the questions, but my colleagues can help me if there's anything that I should. I've gone and looked at the YouTube live to quickly see, is there anything, is there a final date to accept the admission offer, pay the fees? Yeah. All that you'll get to know when you go through the selection process, right? We will give you time to make the payment and things like that, and be possible to visit on Saturdays. Yes and no, but if you think that Saturday is the only day, we will see. We will see. There are people who are visiting from other towns. We will see whether Saturday is also possible. Is the degree recognized by foreign universities, government universities for higher studies? Of course. See, the thing is, this batch BSc Physics student, after completion of a degree, has got into Yale, Connecticut, right? She's doing an integrated PhD program in biophysics, right? Our students have got into places like Stanford for their PhD. So the degree is recognized, and this is happening also because of the kind of recommendation letter, the networking that our faculty members have with other universities. So they are the ones who are going to guide you. You're interested in this area, probably you should go to this particular place. They have a nice department, right? So definitely, yeah. I did not understand other questions. Should I take environmental science as a major? Is it an upcoming field in India? I would let you do all this analysis, whether you should do biology or environmental science. I will let you do that analysis yourself, right? But you can write to us, so you can really write to us. I think with this, we should slowly close the session. Any closing comments, Supriya, Sanandan, or we kind of finished all the questions they've been asking. So with that, so first of all, thanks Supriya and Sanandan for patiently answering all the questions, and then thanks for your time as well. Thanks to a lot of my colleagues behind the scenes who are taking care of the technicalities behind the scenes. So that brings us to the end of the webinar. We meet tomorrow again, same time, 5 p.m. To talk about the BSc Honors and the BSc B.Ed program. Quick reminder that we close applications for the first round in 2 days. So do complete the application form as quickly as possible. And take care and have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye-bye.